How do I prepare myself adequately to have uncomfortable conversations with people?
You touched on it earlier, Josh, about being kind, about being self-aware. I mentioned being compassionate. Like, these are the ways that you have meaningful conversations with people. Now, you can do your part. That doesn't mean they're going to do their part, and that's okay. But how do you prepare for it? You prepare for it in that way. How can I come at this compassionately? How can I come at this and show the other person I understand where they're coming from? Because that's really what we want. We want to be loved. We want to be understood. Which, we could argue why those are, common ones, but that's how difficult conversations happen. You show people that, like, hey, I love you and I understand you. And if you take that approach, it's still a difficult conversation. They're called difficult conversations for a reason. But I know in my experience, they go, as smooth as they can go. They don't go perfect, but it's a lot better than if I come at someone being accusatory.
Right. And I think that's what makes the conversation even more uncomfortable at times. So I would just step back and say, what makes your conversations uncomfortable? What makes the conversation uncomfortable? Quite often, it's the need to be loved as opposed to showing up and just being loving. Because if you can show up and be loving, regardless of whether or not you need their love, you need their validation, you need their veneration, you need their approval, if you just show up and you're loving, if you're compassionate, you're understanding. What makes the conversation uncomfortable? Needing a particular outcome. It could be validation. It could be, I need to convince them of something else. As soon as you need to convince someone of something, you are unloving them. And so that's not showing up in a loving way. So what is making your conversation uncomfortable? It's almost always because it's tethered to an outcome. Either you need something from them or you need them to change. In either way, if you can let go of the need, it's no longer an uncomfortable conversation for you.
Yeah. Man, I love that. Like, letting go of the outcome and just focus on having that conversation without an outcome in mind. Because that's what starts, at least with me, it makes me start to, try and convince, try and pivot. And then often that leads into blaming and here's where I'm unhappy, and it's okay to be unhappy, but if you let go of the outcome, then you can just have an honest conversation.
And if you approach it as an exploration together, rather than here's where we need to go, because here's where we need to go means there's a destination and I need to drag you along. Even if you don't want to go there, in order for me to be fulfilled, I need to make you unhappy. I need to make you uncomfortable. I need to make both of us uncomfortable in order to get where we need to go. If you don't need to go anywhere, then you can explore together. Maybe you'll end up where you wanted to go in the first place, or maybe you'll end up somewhere else that is considerably better than the original destination you planned. Or maybe you'll both go in different directions because that's the best thing for you. Did you enjoy this video? If so, you can listen to full episodes of the Minimalists private podcast available exclusively on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/theminimalists today. Your support keeps our podcast and YouTube channel 100% advertisement free.